Alrighty there, we are heading to a shop call or COD type tow. That's our terminology for basically somebody that's contracting us directly to tow a vehicle. It's not using a motor club or anything like that. We have a gentleman that is broke down on the 57 southbound at the right before the Lincoln Street exit, Lincoln Avenue exit. I'm not sure what it's called there. Pretty much the only way to access that from where we are is to take the 91 freeway, which we're getting on right now, and go to the 57 from the 91, because you can't enter 57 before Lincoln other than at the 91 or Orangethorpe entrance, which is way out of the way. So we've got a little bit of travel time here, probably about 10 minutes, probably about 10 to 15 minutes or so. It's Sunday, so traffic shouldn't be too bad. It's the 27th of August. It's about 6:22 p.m. right now, so you get an idea of what the traffic looks like at 6:22 on a Sunday. Taking our trusted self-loader here. This makes hookup a little bit easier. It's a little faster than the truck I normally drive. It's an automatic. Mine's a 7-speed. So this is a little bit easier to deal with. We've got to go a couple exits up, and then we'll hit the 57 interchange, and we'll get on there. I guess this is alright. Give me a little bit of time here to talk, maybe about the business or whatever that we do. I mean, this is towing, so what can I say? Light duty is a lot of stuff that we deal with, and that basically means light duty means like cars and you know, regular pickup trucks and motorcycles, things like that. We do some medium duty and heavy duty, and that will be more of like motorhomes and box trucks to big rigs and dump trucks, you know, large stuff. That's where that stuff comes into place. We do a lot of motor club, and for that reason, a lot of the stuff that I videotape with the motor club calls, I can't air on YouTube. There's some legalities in place for that just prohibit me from publicizing a lot of that stuff. Only certain things can I do, and it generally requires a lot of editing. You know, people's personal information, things like that, we're not gonna necessarily give out. And with the motor clubs, a lot of times we're having to see people's driver's licenses and things like that to verify their identities, and we won't be able to, can't really air any footage that shows that. I had to edit that out, and because of some of the legalities to it, we just choose not to air a lot of the videos that have to do with motor club calls. You'll see on my channel a lot of police calls and things like that, or wrecks that we deal with that don't have that extra legality involved with it that prohibits us from putting videos up. So that's why you see on my channel there's just mainly PD stuff and whatnot, because there's a lot of things I just can't put up there. And believe me, there's a lot of stuff I would love to. I mean, I've been doing this for about the better part of 10 years, and I have a saying in this business: when you think you saw it all, you haven't. You're going to run into something where you just scratch your head and just be like, how the heck did you do that? You know, it's never seen everything in this business. There's a lot of stuff that you'll just come across, and there's a lot of those calls I run that I scratch my head and it's the same thing. I'm like, you know, how did you do that? You know, there's a lot of people that just don't have the common sense that they should have, or the IQ they should be using while they're driving. I'm not sure how to put it without calling them stupid, and I don't want to say that. So yeah, but we run into a lot of that, a lot of our issues with the up stuff is people get themselves in a situation they can get out of, or it's just a regular tow, car broke down. A lot of service calls. We do a lot of jump starts, a lot of tire changes, and a lot of lockouts. So as this is a tow business, but you know, we do a lot of service more than we do tow, because that's the general nature of the breakdowns that we get. You know, I tell people all the time when we do a lockout, because they're embarrassed, they lock their keys in their car and they gotta call for help. So, and I explained to them, I was like, don't trip. It's the easiest call that I can run. It takes not even 5 minutes from start to finish on the call, and it's a quick deal. There's not a lot of labor involved. Pop the car open and we're done. And, you know, and I usually, for the ones that are embarrassed, I usually add in the thank you for doing that, because you do this and you need to call somebody for help. It keeps me employed. It ensures I have a job. You know, as long as people drive on the roadway, there's going to be a need for tow trucks and a need for roadside service personnel. And so this is where we wind up at. You know, we're a business that always stays busy. Sometimes we have our slow points, but you know, we usually are busy. Okay, so we're getting on the 57 right now. Interchange ramp. We're about to come up to Lincoln. Lincoln comes up rather quickly. Right shoulder is all the way on the right, and I think I see our disabled. So we're going to slow down here. We're going to start trying to shift over. Clear. Okay. Alright, so it looks like that's our disabled vehicle right there. So we're going to approach with caution. Turn on the hazard lights. We're going to turn on the light bar for a second. Alright, we don't need the light bar anymore. We're going to shut that off. We're going to drop our lift down. We're going to get everything ready we need to before we get out of the truck. Now, the reason we want to do that is we want to limit the amount that we're going to spend on the side of the road here and outside the vehicle. We have a nice wide shoulder here, thank God. I'm kind of liking that, but it's not always the best situations, and you get some bad shoulders. And even though it's a wide shoulder, we don't take safety for granted. You can get some idiot that decides he wants to use the shoulder as his lane and cause us an issue with that. So we still are keep an eye out and watch out and be careful at what we do. Drop that lift down some more, back up under it, backed up. We're going to close. Alright, we're not going to lift until we get the gentleman out of the vehicle, so that way there's no problems. We can get out of the truck here and greet him. How you doing?
What's up, boss?
Hey, old Samuel, what happened?
Everything just died out on me.
Well, let's get you up in the truck. Do you have the keys?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and leave those in there real quick, or hand those to me, one of the two. I'll take care of it. Let's get you in the truck so we're not standing out here. Alright, just get it come across there. And jump inside there real quick. We got a front wheel drive. We'll check the back and make sure we don't have drive axles in the rear. We don't? Okay. The last thing of all things, we're going to check it's a stick. Take the brake off. We'll open our claw a little bit, let the tires roll in. Nice hearty pinch. Pull it in a little bit. And we're going to pull up out of this shoulder. Alrighty, we're going to pull up, I don't And pull up there, get away from this exit ramp. So wide shoulder, but there's too many people coming and going, and it doesn't make it any safer. At least at the gore point there, they're already out of the way. So still got to tie it up and whatnot.
Actually, you know what? If possible, can we take it to the Nissan dealer?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we can do that. We got a couple last minute stragglers coming up here. We got one more car, two more cars. We got a few. Somebody had a bad day. Oh, there's a nice turnout right there. I was actually happy you were in a nice wide shoulder. There's a lot of spots that shoulder's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Alright, that looks like a good spot. Better than ever. Alright, just go ahead and hang tight. Want something to drink?
No, I'm cool. Thanks. Yeah.
Semi-icy cold water. Let me get this thing tied up and then we'll get on our way. So we're a little better here. I didn't like that spot up there because you had the on-ramp from the other side of the 57 or the other side of the 91 coming in. And all that exit traffic right there at the same time. You get a lot of people that just aren't paying attention. And they may cause you a bad day. So at least here everyone's driving straight. There's no exit. We're in a nice wide shoulder. Still not the safest place. And my rule of thumb is I never take my eye off traffic. As much as the slow down, move over law has been in place for the better part of God knows how many years now, these people still don't know about it. They still don't care. They still don't listen. These are the same guys that are still talking on their cell phones and texting while driving. Even though they're not supposed to be. You know, and it's ignorance, but ignorance is no excuse. Well, there's one. And here comes number 2, strap. Always got to strap them down to make sure they don't go nowhere. These are baskets, so they're a little faster. Yeah, supposedly a little faster. These chains I don't like very well because they hang, but there's not much I can do about that. They gotta be on there. So usually I'll just pull this one up through there and wrap it around or something. At least that way it's hanging there and anywhere else. Safety chains are a must. Always got to have safety chains. Never want to use them, but we got them. And the reason we got these is in case those straps fail and the car decides it wants to go. This is going to keep the vehicle from going anywhere. I love to get all twisted up in these pockets. I know I'm rambling, but it is what it is. Alright, so good frame. I'm not worried if it bounces and hits this. The frame's going to hit it. It's not going to cause any damage. And these are supposed to go underneath, around the axle. And then they're supposed to get hooked up. Yeah, I don't like that. Underneath, I'm doing this on a freeway too. I love this. Hook it on like that, around itself. We can get it to hook. Here we go. We got the hook. take out the slack. Then this needs to go underneath like this. Now this was designed to go over the top. Okay, well screw it. Not going over the top. They put these hooks backwards, so unfortunately you can't really do much, because usually you come over the top, hook onto this, and then come out of that one. Or underneath, so I'm gonna do that. Now it's whatever your preference really wants to be. We got one more hook. Got the twist out of the chain because I don't like the twist. So it's a Nissan Nismo. Around traffic, watch for that guy that's going to run into us and kill us. At least we can see him when he's coming. Alright, so that's over the top. That's going through that the way it's supposed to be. Theoretically, that's not supposed to be going through there. Tuck it. There's no safety chain right there, so we'll tuck our strap through there. Or a strap chain through there. Nope, we want that. We want that to go onto there. Worst case is I'll loop it around like that. Yep, there we go. Alrighty. Change up there. We want a little bit of slack there, so we turn. Last of all things, brake lights. Gotta have brake lights so people can see from back there I'm gonna stop. These are connected to the brake system on the tow truck. Right side and the left side, just like you have your brake lights on the back of your vehicle. Go to right and the left. They also function as stoplights, so keep us safe, and the person behind us that's not paying attention can see we're stopping. It says cord, kind of loop it up like that, and we're good to go. Alrighty, we're all set to go.
Let's rock and roll.
Now we just got to get on out of here. Going to the Nissan in Garden Grove.
Yeah.
Okay. Right on. We'll put on our blinker. People are getting ready to come over. Got one car coming, and we're gonna hit the gas. And then we're gonna slow down. So welcome aboard. You're actually going to be my first light-duty tow episode on YouTube. I do a lot of police calls and wrecks and stuff like that, but never just a regular tow.
Okay.
So you're going to be the first one. Gives people a chance to see what we do for a living, or what we do every day, and how dangerous the job can be.
Yeah.
You know,
I bet.
Freeways are usually the worst because you got the distracted public that's just not paying attention.
Yeah.
And then where you're going, it's worse. So we get a lot of stuff on that freeway over there, the 22.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. More collisions happen on that freeway, I think, than any other freeway around here. And it's usually some pretty good ones.
Yeah.
You know, there's a couple of videos I got posted up that got me doing some interesting stuff out there, and it definitely shows how scary it can get.
Yeah.
You know, especially right there. Let's see, you're in between Gilbert and Magnolia, and right there at that curve, just past the Magnolia exit, you get like a car's width of shoulder, but it's a blind curve.
Yeah.
So people don't know until they're right on top of you that you're there.
Yeah.
And no amount of lights that we have on the tow trucks can light it up enough that those people see us around that corner.
Yeah.
You know, and that, what, 70 miles an hour?
Yeah, what can you do? You can't.
You get in and get out. That's all you can do. I mean, so this isn't too bad. You're I've never seen this car before, but Nissan's been coming out with a lot of groundbreaking stuff that is kind of new out there in the market.
Yeah.
And this has got to be one of them. The Cube was the first one, I think, that it came out that really popped eyes.
Yeah.
And then Kia came out with theirs, the Soul. And I think Honda came out with the Insight or something like that. Something that was trying to kind of mimic it all, but we looked at those cars and like, yeah, I'd never buy one.
Yeah, this one I just got a very good deal on it.
Well, you work for the dealer, so
yeah.
I would hope you get a good deal.
So I jumped on it brand new. I got it for 17. So
that's not bad. And especially with everything going, your cheapest car is going for like 20 something now.
Yeah.
I remember when you could walk into the dealership and buy something, it was like 15. It was a decent car. But there's no such thing anymore, and unless you're going to a Kia dealer, or a Hyundai dealer, and you're buying a 5-year car.
Yeah, it's all the electronic stuff now.
Yeah, it's
starting to have.
And that's kind of a downside of it, though.
Yeah.
Because now you have all this electronic stuff in cars, and you have more things to break and stop working.
And they're expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap to fix. I mean, it's I drive an old truck that has no computers in it.
Oh, there you go.
And it's all mechanical, and it's nice because I don't get things breaking on me as often. And when something does break, it's usually a quick trip to the auto parts store,
there you go.
$30 part, and about 40 minutes in the parking lot, and I'm done. The truck's fixed.
Up and running again.
Up and running, yeah. But nowadays you have all this electronic stuff, and this is kind of what scared me off of buying anything new.
Yeah.
It's because every time I, look at something, it goes in the back of my mind. It's like, okay, well, now you have all the computer stuff, so if it breaks, you can't fix it.
Yeah.
That's a big thing I hate about it is that, if it does break, I just can't go to an auto parts store, buy a part and fix it and be done with it. Now I've got to call for a tow truck or take it in and get it serviced and be without the vehicle for X amount of time. If there's no warranty coverage, then the repair is going to probably be an asshole arm and a leg.
Yeah.
So I think that's been the big deterrent on buying a new truck or something like that. It's because of that. I'm not really a big car guy, so most of what I'm driving is pickup trucks. Just my preference, I guess, for all the years I've been driving them.
Well, they're solid. Trucks are solid.
Trucks are, especially my old ones, but it's the room, it's the cabin room that really is the big thing to me.
Yeah.
You don't get as much of that in some of the cars as you do in the trucks. You get a lot more room in the trucks. So it works out better for me. But yeah, I don't know. One of these days I'll probably bite the bullet, maybe buy something new, but I'm still kind of up in the air on it.
Yeah.
Because then it's the toss-up between General Motors and Ford.
Yeah.
I like Ford. I like the GM fleet. But GM's got way too many problems with their electronics.
Yeah.
And so it kind of takes GM out of the equation. I'd just rather go buy a Ford at that point. Yeah, I'm still buying an electronic vehicle, but at least I know what I'm getting. And I know what I can expect. Driving a tow truck, you see the stupid stuff a lot.
Yeah.
You see the bad end of all that stuff, and I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm swayed on it, but I think I tow more Chevys and GM products than I do Fords. But then you got to add in the unknown variable of the person that drives it and how they're taking care of it.
That is true.
So can I necessarily blame everything on GM and Ford? Well, not really. I mean, some of the stuff I see is just common sense maintenance that needed to be done.
Yeah.
But then a lot of stuff I do see too is faults and problems with computerized components.
Yeah, and that's the biggest one. It's when the computers go out there.
And I've done, with the old trucks, I've done the electrical nightmare of chasing a problem down.
Yeah. And
that could be a pain in the ass. I can't imagine it with these newer vehicles where if you've got a short somewhere, you've got hundreds of miles more of wire now that you've got to find. It's like, You know, that's to me, that's what it is. I don't want to have to go to a mechanic and pay some guy, you know, $600-700 to fix a vehicle and trust he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays there's not many mechanics you can't trust.
That is true.
That's, you know, that's the worst part about it. And you get a guy that did you right, and the next time you did a repair with him, he did you wrong. You know, it's hit or miss. The last time I took a truck to a mechanic, it was an electrical problem. Old enough truck that I didn't even know it had a crankshaft sensor.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's, you know, that's a computerized sensor that tells the computer what position the engine's in.
Yeah.
Well, this is an old truck. I knew it had a computer. I didn't know it had that stupid sensor. And so I'm trying to diagnose a start when it wants to kind of deal, but crank over but won't fire up. And you know, after 2 days of messing with it, finally gave up and take it to the mechanic, and they repair it. Just like $300 repair bill, something around that nature. The part, of course, they marked the part up. I mean, a lot of retail. Yeah. $100 and something part, $200 labor. 3 months down the road, the fucking thing goes bad on me again.
Oh, wow.
And this time I knew what it was, or had an inkling of what it was. I went to an auto parts store and bought the same part. Okay. And I figured out what the actual cost of the part was at that point. When I went back to my bill, it charged me $120 for the part, and it was a $40 part. So, you know, well, you got to figure that's got to be the markup. You know, the part's going to be marked up, and then you get the labor. But after that, I was done with the mechanic deal. 3 months into the repair didn't hold, so I was, you know, I was a little upset at that point, having to fix it again for the same problem. Yeah. And hasn't been a problem since.
Well, that's good.
Even though it's an AutoZone part. Everything they sell is made in China, so there's a few products I buy out of there that I'm glad they have warranties on, and I've probably replaced them 5 or 6 times over. I've got a big F250, and that's on its like 7th fan clutch from AutoZone.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's a problem in their manufacturer or what it is, but I'm just kind of playing it until I order the direct drive kit. I'm just going to get rid of the fan clutch and put a spacer in a direct drive fan blade.
Oh, there you go.
That'll eliminate my problem with that thing. So, alright, here we be. Does it start at all or no?
No.
It's just dead.
Second one.
Second one, alright. Yeah, I gotta remember. Yeah, this is not the biggest space dealership to drive in and out of. Alright, where are we trying to go with her?
We're gonna go right to the left through the gate.
Okay.
And any spot there.
Any spot on the other side of the gate, okay.
Yeah, oh, there's plenty of room right now, so.
Oh, right on. What's the clearance on the structure? You have any idea on that?
I don't know actually. I know they're supposed to put a sign there.
Kind of would be nice to know, because I know what parking structures, a lot of times tow trucks can't get in or out of them. This is a low truck, but it's a 7 foot, so some of the structures I can get in and out of, some I can't. I'm just gonna back you in right here. At the edge of that safety chain. That should work. All right, let's get you off the truck. Oh, you can probably turn your hazard lights off. I say you can probably turn your hazard lights off. I don't think we need those anymore. Put those up there like that. Alrighty. Right cable. Okay, I'm gonna bring this in a little bit. If I can get these chains off there. Alrighty, there's one. I'll take this one off. Woo. Nice warm water.
Next couple of days supposed to be some hot one.
Yeah, you can already feel it. I worked a graveyard shift and it's been warm at night lately.
Okay.
So I can tell it's coming. You know, I'll be good when we get back towards the winter time. I'm not a big giant fan of the heat waves.
Oh yeah, me neither.
I'd rather the cold weather. At least I can put a jacket on.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to take your skin off in the heat.
Yeah.
Alright, now we just pull up and away from it. This is the nice thing about having a camera in here. You can see where my ground clearance is. All right, buddy. Well, you're all set.
What's the damage?
Maria said she's gonna handle it with you.
All right. Well,
Probably just try to exchange for
bud.
some business or something.
All right. Good deal.
All right.
Hey, thanks, bud.
No problem, buddy. All right. You have a good one. And that's it. That's light duty tow. Man, you can see it's a simple tow, but you know, of course, with the freeway and things like that, it adds in the element of danger there, because you've got Motor Republic that just is your enemy at that point. Nobody drives. On a good day, everybody drives the way they're supposed to, but on a bad day, unfortunately, which is every day, you know, somebody is looking at that email that they just got, or playing with that text message, or on the phone with somebody that you know, that can wait. All that stuff can wait. I mean, your job when you're driving a car at that point is to pay attention to what you're doing behind the wheel and not distract yourself. And you know, unfortunately, we've become too comfortable in this day and age that our cell phones take over our lives, and everybody is see, look at this guy, forgot his turn at the last minute. But you know, you got the Motor Republic that just isn't paying attention anymore. They're operating a 4,000 pound on average bullet. Yeah, I mean, 70 miles an hour, it's a bullet, but it's a big metal bullet, and it's bad. You know, it's getting worse. It's getting worse because the phones are the biggest problem. Cell phones being a distraction while you're driving is probably the biggest problem, because if you look at a car as you're driving down the street, and about every other vehicle you see, it's not going to be an exact average, but about every other car I see, somebody's got a phone in their hand. And in California, what's the law now on it? Phone has to be mounted. You can't be playing around with it. If you do anything on the phone, you're pretty much allowed to touch it once. And that's it. So here's another distraction. Well, this is our dispatching system, but you know, it's yet again another electronic device that we have to mess with. And I hate messing with these things, especially if I can avoid it. We've got a tow at Lamson and Beach. It's going to Whittier. So anyway, that's another one. You know, I try to avoid dealing with it, and believe me, I absolutely hate distractions while I'm driving. They irritate the loving crap out of me. You know, I can multitask, but I don't like to do it behind the wheel. It's an absolute annoyance. If I answer a phone call, all right, my phone's not mounted, it's sitting right here, but there's no reason I got to put it up to my ear. I can hit speakerphone and talk just fine like this. So, but that's, you know, that's the biggest danger in our business, is distracted drivers. So anyway, before I ramble on and make this too long of a video, please comment, like, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.